The standard is not what should the officer have done in these circumstances. It's not what could the officer have done differently in these circumstances. The standard is what were the facts that were known to this officer at the precise moment he used force, and considering all of the totality of circumstances and facts known to the officer, what would a reasonable police officer have done? This is a dynamic and ever-changing, just like life. Things change. It's a dynamic situation. It's fluid. They take into account their experience with the subject at the beginning, the middle, the end. A reasonable police officer tries to predict, or is at least cognizant and concerned about, future behavior based upon past behavior. But the unpredictability of humans factors into the reasonable police officer's analysis too. Because sometimes reasonable police officers take someone into custody with no problem, and suddenly they become a problem. It can change in an instant. And the state has really focused on the 9 minutes and 29 seconds. 9 minutes, 29 seconds. 9 minutes, 29 seconds. It's not the proper analysis, because the 9 minutes and 29 seconds ignores the previous 16 minutes and 59 seconds. It completely disregards it. It says, in that moment, at that point, nothing else that happened before should be taken into consideration by a reasonable police officer. It tries to reframe the issue of what a reasonable police officer would do. A reasonable police officer would, in fact, take into consideration the previous 16 minutes and 59 seconds. Their experience with the subject, the struggle that they had, the comparison of the words to actions, it all comes into play. Why? Because human behavior is unpredictable. Human behavior is unpredictable, and nobody knows it better than a police officer.